the meeting to order. And ask that you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance on word prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Commissioner, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another wonderful day. We thank you for many, many blessings, Lord. We ask that you keep your hand upon us, lead us and guide us, touch everybody that's here. Bless them, Lord, with your abundance of grace and mercy. We'll give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Item number 4, announcement, possible discussion of items of public or community interest for which no action will be taken. We've got a debt talk meeting coming up March 28th here. We're the host county. After the debt talk meeting at 2 o'clock, we're going to have a little ribbon cutting, I guess you might say. Fix to take over or open up the building. We're kind of in the process of getting them moved in and so forth. So that'll be at 2 o'clock on the 28th. Won't be a big ceremony, but just ribbon cutting type thing. Anything else that you need to share with the community?
Just remind people that April 5th and 6th, we've got our tire event going on. The 5th will be this Friday. It will be precinct 4 and precinct 2 this year. From 7:30 to noon, Martello Trailers Pool, and precinct 1 and 3 will be Saturday from 7:30 to noon, Martello Trailers.
Friday, precinct 2. Did you say that on the banner? Sir? Did you say that on the banner?
That's just a banner thing, flyer, let's send everybody flyers. It's posted on Facebook.
Well, that's good. Try to remember to gather up you accumulated there. They don't take discarded tractor trailer.
No, normal tires, off the rims, no 18, I mean, 21, 24.5 is the max size to take, no skidder.
I didn't hear about it until yesterday, but we lost a good man. Used to be our district attorney here, but Manny moved to go. Judge Jim Keeshan passed away. They buried him last week. 85 years old. So we're talking about 9, so we're good DA. That's back in the days when we didn't have a DA, we shared one with Montgomery County, and then Trinity County sent one over here. Jim Keeshan. Anyway, he's going to be missed seriously. All right. Item number 9, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve interlocal cooperation contract failure to appear program with Department of Public Safety in Sanderson County. I think that's do that every year after this, so that it's how they kind of keep up with the state and the JP, so they get a speeding ticket, they don't show up for what they have. I Interlocal agreement. Try to collect that revenue. Have a motion by Commissioner McInally. Second by Commissioner Brandon.
That's hard for me.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous. 5-0. Focus mainly on koozies last time. Let's see. Well, all the way fees, get it. I have to fill in later. Now we got the full course, only one contact person. All right, y'all, I'm sorry, I just checked, I'm gonna fill that for later, see, I don't know. They didn't send last year's contract, so we know who the designated person was. Make a note to do that.
Apologize for not being
I'm sure she gets all this.
$900,000. I have no idea. I wasn't a party to it, but you would think that I was. The question is, how did you want to do it?
Medium size, 50 things. Put a note on it.
But there's some several coming.
Item number 10, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the proclamation for the month of March to be Red Cross Month. I have a motion by Commissioner Duno, a second by Commissioner Mars. Any comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. San Jacinto County Red Cross Month, March 2024. Whereas the American Red Cross has served our community with distinction for more than 90 years, providing relief to countless area disaster victims. And whereas throughout the years, the American Red Cross has continued its proud tradition as the foremost provider of services to help disaster victims and as a preeminent provider of other services including health and safety, education, military and international tracing and social services. And whereas dedicated area residents support the American Red Cross as volunteers, the organization has numerous and continuous volunteer opportunities and fund an ongoing program to recruit and train volunteers. And whereas as part of a national effort to recognize the American Red Cross, its dedicated volunteers, and many outstanding accomplishments, the month of March has been designated as National Red Cross Month. The American Red Cross will commemorate National Red Cross Month by hosting numerous events and activities. Whereas San Jacinto County is pleased to commend the staff and volunteers. Brother McCoppin is one of the hard workers we have locally, and many outstanding accomplishments. The month of March has been designated as National Red Cross Month. American Red Cross will commemorate National Month by hosting Yari Ridley. County of San Jacinto is pleased to commend the staff and volunteers of the Greater Houston Area Chapter of American Red Cross for their many significant contributions to our community and extends best wishes to all for a successful and rewarding National Red Cross Month. Therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Prince Dr. San Jacinto County Judge of the Commissioners Court of San Jacinto County, do hereby proclaim March 1st to the 31st, 2024 as Red Cross Month in San Jacinto County, and urge all citizens to continue their support of Red Cross activities with their time and resources, given under my hand and seal of San Jacinto County on the 20th day of March 2024. Good job. Thank you.
I was a disaster worker for the American Red Cross.
Hey, Judge Foster. Hey, we have the big mayor at Tommy Mauser of Roku TV, Strike TV, and I know that Randy's over there filming that too. I'm here on behalf of the executive director, Natalie Morgan, and so can we have a photo op for them?
Absolutely. I can't remember the last time I ordered a photo op.
Okay.
Come on.
I fell off the ladder.
Oh, my.
And it said somewhere in the Bible, thou shalt not travel the ladder if thee or over 60 years old.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you say? Say something. Get behind, right?
That's all he said. That's why they had that chair.
Right. All right. Thanks for everything y'all do for us. Appreciate it.
I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you. You take a proclamation, I can take it to the.
I gotta make copies.
She's got to make, she'll make a copy of
That's
it.
it.
Do we have access, do we have some sort of copier here?
I do, but I don't know if that's one.
You want me to go make some copies?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be nice. you a copy, you can hang around a minute, sir. They're gonna go make you some copies.
Okay.
All right, yes, sir. Sure, something here to the. Item number 11, consideration, discussion, possible vote to award the Rebel Contractors Inc. Construction Project TX CDBG 2021-2022 CDB 210367.
You need it right now? We'll send it to you.
No, you send it. For road improvements to Fostoria, Tram Road for recommendation for Bart Berger of Guano Engineering. Ms. Waxman?
I'm gonna let Blake here start off and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. So last week we received bids from 3 bidders for the Fostoria Tram Road improvements using the CDBG funds. This was a rebid, maybe a couple months ago when the budget was not met by the bidders that did submit bids. We did get 3 bidders this go round, and Rebel Contractors was the low bid for the dollar amount of $286,441. And the scope of the project was reduced to just a little over a quarter mile worth of road. So if y'all have any questions on the scope or the
You got
bids.
copies of any of the bids that you got?
So they should have been, the bid tab should have been in your packet, and I was made aware that they might be too small to read. Maybe they printed funny.
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Should have.
They're tight, these things are tiny.
I think.
I thought you might have some life size ones you were gonna pass.
No, sir, I apologize for that. I think they're typically printed on 17 and not 8.5 by 11. That was my fault for putting them on the wrong side of paper. So, but the bid
How many
items.
bids did you get?
There was 3 bidders.
Oh, okay, is that what that said? Bid 1, bid 2, bid 3. I mean, this is really tight. So pairs of glasses you can stack on your face to make it where you can see this.
So what we did with that bid tab is all 3 bidders are listed, and all of their unit prices for each of the bid items are on that sheet as well, so y'all can see the itemized bid items. But
So for the record, if you're not gonna say it, Rebel Contractors, their bid, bottom line, $286,441. The next one is Russell Bird, $300,294.50. Solid Bridge Construction says the younger eyes, $349,926.50. Go ahead, sir.
So, and if y'all remember the last time we met and we discussed the rebid, part of the reason we had to go out for rebid is we only received 1 bid, which didn't meet the rules.
We are in the midst of an audit on the buyout. We're not even through, Commissioner. Buying out. And we went through all the process of procurement, and we put it in the paper, we put it on the website, we sent out to all the most reputable big 6 or 7 in the state to do it. Should have got on my hands and knees and begged one unnamed outfit from Jasper, but I didn't. Anyway, we only received 1, and they said, well, after we've already awarded it halfway through the project, then the auditors come in and say, well, you should have done more to get more. I said, well, is there a problem? Y'all set the price they charged. They didn't go over it. I mean, look, this is the problem, but that's what some auditors do. No offense to our auditors.
Well,
That's aggravating, though. You do everything that they tell you, and I'm so glad we got 3 bids, so we won't have to make that argument to them.
Yes, sir, because in all honesty, what happened to you before, when we did get this project out to bid in the, schedule that we had agreed to with the state, but once we got the one bid that was too high, the county was then out of compliance technically. And so we worked real hard to reduce the scope of work, and do what we could.
Y'all couldn't get him to just blow up some of that $1 million fund balance and go ahead and.
Well, we get into that part, Judge.
That's what you, that's
So-
what was there. That's
so-
good.
We got a low bid, but we didn't get as low of a bid as what we had money, so there is a shortfall here. And when we met with Commissioner Brandon last week, I think, Commissioner, we had talked about you taking it out of the ARP money. Okay, and so I think that would be the discussion we need to have right now, if that's okay with the court to do that. Because we're not quite there, and there's no way either one of us would stand up here and recommend to y'all that we rebid the project this close to the money. And I do want to tell you also, we've talked to Rebel, and my office has, Blake's office has. We feel like once we get the pre-construction conference going, which y'all are all familiar with, we can have them knock this out in maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and y'all can call this a win and go on with other stuff. So, the project, come on, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. If it doesn't rain, there's a good chance it won't rain. So, we're encouraged about that part of it.
Once all the paperwork's done and all.
Yes, sir, but because we know Rebel very well in my office and we work with them a lot, I was telling Blake this morning.
They're a local firm, believe it or not.
Right.
And they've done lots of projects for us.
Yes, sir.
That against the other fellows, like, we got 2 locals, so that's good.
Yes, sir, I would say that's very good. We try to have as many local people.
And y'all turn your
Yes,
phones
sir.
off, is that what I'm hearing, or I'm? Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's sort of where we are, because of your AR money still, floating around. I think you'll be able to supplement this.
How far are you? What? You got some of your AR money that's left over, you got enough to do that?
Construction budget was
Okay. I believe 7.
Yes.
About 16,000.
Just making sure we're not talking about
Yes.
the general fund, AR, bigger money that.
That's next week.
That's for the repair the basement to the courthouse or whatever we're gonna do.
So, and we are talking about $16,000 difference, somewhere around there.
How much?
About 16,000, so it's not monumental.
Oh, okay,
It is good that you have the money to do this. To most of my clients who were doing CDG projects, I advised them pretty early on, you might want to put some money back because everything's coming in double. And some folks did that and some folks didn't. Obviously, you're in a better position if you did. Just so you guys know, it looks like the next funding cycle for this grant cycle will be November. They'll start having meetings this summer to talk about what's eligible and what's not eligible. And you're, I think, looking at about a $500,000 grant, which sounds like a lot more, but it's about the same by the time we get finished with inflation. But it should help you a little bit, so I just wanted y'all to be thinking about that. You're back in compliance and can apply for anything that you choose to through TDA now.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
We had talked in our discussion, and just to kind of throw it out here to you, and going through this one here, 500,000 sounds like a lot. When you're doing a road project, as well as I do, it doesn't really get you very far. We work out to adjust it several times. And with the price of oil, varying and so forth. But it can be used for buds and subs.
It can be used what?
Buds and subs. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you got one. understand has to work.
Are you okay with Rebel? You don't have any problem?
I don't have any problem with
Y'all okay with Rebel? I'll make a motion. Can you put in the motion that how you gonna fund the deficit?
Please, you have
It's
to.
gonna be with the ARP or precinct 3 fund balance.
that. That's correct.
Of how, the commissioner decide, of how much? 16,000.
Thank you, Judge, and I know your auditors, thank you for that clarification. It sure helps us on the monitoring when we have all that in the minutes.
Well, recovery people, they want to audit, and we can say, well, this is where we spent 16,000 of it.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. You're good. So, thank you, and if any of y'all come up with questions, y'all know where to find us. So, we will, Commissioner Brandon, we will try, starting today, to get that pre-construction conference put together. We intend to do it over the phone quickly and get it going, so we'll be in communication. Thank y'all, see y'all next week.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Tuno, a second by Commissioner McNally to award the bid to Rebel Contractors, $286,441 with $16,000 thereabout to take to help fund the project out of precinct 3 road and bridge or their recovery fund that they have on hand. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Sound like the ayes have it, it's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Yes, great job.
Yes, next is our contract. Item number 12, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the road and bridge refund. Ms. Davis. What's she waving at? She paid. I'll make the motion to give them the money back. I'll second that. I have a motion by Commissioner Tuno, a second by Commissioner Mars. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Guess we use this one, it's a copy.
Yeah, that's all I have to.
You all just sign a copy?
Just when y'all get it, she usually just sends it to us.
Do we have the original?
Well, it'll be the original when we sign it, but if you want something in blue ink, all I got is, so just sign this, it says,
I thought she took the original, I don't know who she gave it to. I think she gives it to the judge's office, I'm not sure. We'll find
if I
out.
had it, it'd be right here. But it's, well,
It's okay, as long as it's original signature, you're fine.
I agree. All right, I should be going forward. Try to do with this blue ink. That's right. Change that 22 to 24.
Yes, sir.
I don't think that's blue, but I'm really strong.
She told me last year, but this year, she, and I called her, she told them the same thing.
So I can put some super glue in. That's not super glue, but
Really don't have no help in the state representative office anymore. I ask questions. Everybody gets it, because he can get it, tell them. They drop chips in the road, they. This side should. Supposed to raise them all. Traffic.
item number 13, consideration, discussion, possible vote on application application to revise subdivision plat to revise and report subdivision plat in Waterwood, Simpson County by combining lots 26 and 27, lot 1, Bay Hill of Waterwood, recorded in volume 5, page 26 of plat records, Simpson County, and rename it as lot 26A. Judge McGee called me yesterday and was being pass this because the newspaper, when they ran the ad, it's supposed to go in the paper 3 times, and it only ran it twice, so it's got to republish. And I commended him for that because I said, "Do you think somebody would have noticed that?" He said, I want to do it again, and the newspaper's going to not charge my clients again. He said, "We're passing on that one till it gets republished." Probably a month and a half for that. Pass, application request. Item number 14, consideration, discussion, possible vote for approval to renew property and mobile equipment coverage period 7/1/2024, 7/1/2025. The same, correct?
This is just the renewal. Right.
We have the sheriff's building, it is a shell in the process of build out. It's secured. I don't know why it's in red print, that means it's an addition to what's sent to them. I guess we've already got the new building, the innovation center, it's already covered, so we talked about that last meeting, in fact, that came up.
All we had to do is change that from in progress to,
Yeah, I mean, it's been covered the entire time we was working. You can't do a project of that size without having an insurance. It's now a finished product, and it'll be a blessed finished product when we have that. Ribbon cut.
To approve the renewal.
Have a motion by Commissioner Tuno, second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Number 15, consideration, discussion, possible vote to adopt the updated Simpson County federal grant procurement policy.
Judge, this came from GrantWorks. This is part of our audit that we had to update our procedures on, as you recall. The highlighted in yellow are the wording that the below auditors requested that we.
When you first sent this out, there wasn't any backup. I got to looking at this. Y'all, that's why you got it late. I had her send it all out yesterday. That's what I've been, some of the stuff they've been talking about, For instance, the first thing highlighted, we have a conflict of interest policy. But during the audit, they go on and we've met about this, they go on and on about this project that we're not even finished with. About, any employee found to be in violation of the conflict of interest policy will face disciplinary action. It kind of depends on the size of the event and so forth, but I asked the auditor, I said, have you found any conflicts? Oh, no, there's no conflicts. At that point, I got compelled to divulge that, well, one of our employees is a participant in the buyout, and one former employee is a participant. That's not a conflict, because they're not sitting up here voting on anything that has to do with the buyout project. I said, we don't approve whose house gets bought out. The grant people, and they do all the applications. We never even, we don't really even know unless we dig into who's actually getting bought out. I mean, we knew him because he made a point to make us know, but we had no vote on whether or not he got to be bought out or not. That we hired people to do that. That's just how that works. But they wanted to know if we had a conflict, how we were going to punish them. What are we going to do to them? Well, it depends on what, take it case by case. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. They want to know how we were going to punish them, but they hadn't discovered any conflicts. If there was some, how are you going to punish them? There's more out there.
Page 4.
Yeah, all procurements will be reviewed first by the county judge, and then by the auditor's office. Passing it, we vote on that. I don't know that they need that language in there for 2 CFR 200.318. Okay.
Page 7.
Where'd you come up with this policy?
I did not.
She didn't come up. Oh, okay. I asked the GLO guy that was auditing, if you got a policy you want us to have that you think's better than the one we already have.
You just said GrantWorks.
GrantWorks is the one that has worked with us with Glow because they're part of the audit.
And they didn't spearhead it. They're not the ones causing us.
No, they're not.
And the GLO's getting pressure from HUD to make all these changes.
But the wording comes from their policies, basically, is what it is. And so they included this with our current policy. So this is just an updated, so we're not getting written up in the audit.
And that's what
We're covering ourselves to accommodate.
Get to is this isn't something we created. It's something that they've done for others.
Right. And GrantWorks being our writer or our grant people, they covered it pretty well. Tyler's pretty good.
I'm not sure if we're going to get to the part where they went on and on and on during one or two of the sessions about, well, for instance, we had to have appraisals done of all the properties. Then we had to, and we opted to go at the direction of GrantWorks to have a second audit done, a backup audit. So, we got a belt and suspenders approach there, but they fussed at us about not paying time. I said, well, I'm glad you brought that up. We requested the money that y'all are holding. I believe it was August. And y'all didn't pay until 1st of September of the next year. And I said, well, I think I asked somebody in the group meeting, why is that? I said, well, because they didn't send us the money until about 2 weeks before we actually paid. And the guy from the GRO, apparently he didn't know, they were the ones holding the money, but he don't know, the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing. We're getting beat up at an audit, and it was their fault. They didn't send us the money. They said, well, we'll have to look into that. Yeah. Page 7, federal awarding agency or pass-through entity expressly authorizes a non-competitive procurement in response to written request from a non-federal entity. 200 CFR 320, a non-competitive. You can do it. This circumstances includes reversion of a competitive, they misspelled competitive here, procurement to a non-competitive procurement if after solution a number of sources competition is determined inadequate. What exactly is that? Well,
That's what we just covered in this one. We had to go out for more bids. This is what that part covered, remember, this.
What does that, how does that apply to a buying project?
To have a solicited contract, people do the work.
But we got 9 different people on that one. If they want us to change our policy and we introduce it.
Yeah,
We had about 9 different.
yeah, that was the problem that I had with it, because when you're reading the email from them, they only had a couple of bullet points in there that need to be corrected. And we got other corrections as well, so they were even asking for it. It was causing a lot of confusion for me.
I can see where it might come up in certain, like when we did this building, there was a part of the contract, construction contract that required some EFS work. There is a limited amount of people in the community that we had trouble finding an EFS guy. We finally found one, but I don't know, that's not, there's probably plenty of them around, you just have to broaden your search area, I guess.
And they make reference to section 5.2 of their implementation manual, so I'm kind of thinking, and I'm gonna look at it today, I didn't have time, we got it yesterday.
GLO
Yeah.
implementation.
So this is their reading is what the 2 CFR 200.320 is.
Well, I told the guy, I says, you know, you live at 200 CFR or whatever. We deal with it once, about, every so often. Just tell us what you want to do. I don't understand. When we started this thing, they reviewed our policies. The way you need to do this, do that.
I went back and compared the one we did January 23 to this one here. It's already there except that one statement in his email. That's the only one thing that should have been changed.
So we spent 4 hours in the last section of this audit. I said, well, why didn't you send us some background material? Oh, I sent it, when did you send it? 11 minutes before the meeting started. And then they sent it to an email that I told them was down. If you recall that, we were looking there and we don't have the background material. Okay.
That's it, Judge,
That's the last one?
for that one.
I don't have any problems with correcting the policy to what they say it needs to say. If we want to continue receiving benefits of the program.
Another deal is in the microburst. We have a large set of $3,000. You got 50,000, we're required to go out for bid. According to their rules, 150,000, anything over that. And they kind of have a conflict, so they should have a question. That's way lower than what they are. Small person, that's 320 over into.
So, Ms. Ainsworth, I got 3 packets here, but that looks like that's just a duplication. There's only one policy we needed.
For this one, should have only been this one, and then number 16 is an updated policy also.
Okay. Well, as far as number 15, I would entertain a motion to adopt the updated San Jacinto County federal grant procurement policy for receiving grant revenue. No, that's not it. That's the next one. We got to vote on this one first. I would consider a motion to adopt the updated San Jacinto County federal grant procurement policy.
So moved.
Now, a motion by Commissioner Matuno, second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Also, don't have a place where we sign off on it.
No, I just needed court approval. Number 16 is just to update our receiving policy.
When you submit it, what are you gonna do, attach the minutes or something?
Yes, sir. That's all they needed. Chloe needed, just the approval of it. That we passed
Seems
it.
like the best way to make it easy for the reader to know we approved it is to put a place for us to sign it. But, okay, record, radio, recording, get that. Thank you. All right, item number 16, consideration, discussion, possible vote to adopt the updated San Jacinto County federal grant procurement policy for receiving grant revenue. Shred those other two copies.
This is just an updated format that they have. It's not that our procedures weren't, they just wanted it in wording.
Did we not have a formal written policy on how you write receipts out or whatever it is they're talking about? So they wanted it reduced, they wanted all this extra.
Formal written, yes.
Processing steps, payment of grant funds, request for payment, supporting documentation for expenditures is received from grant administrators. County auditor reviews, supporting documentation for accuracy, completeness, and allowability and allocability per 2 CFR 200.403 subpart E cost principles. If costs comply with federal requirements, auditor and judge signed RFP and returned to grant administrator for submission in grant software. That means you got to enter the portal for payment. If costs do not comply with federal requirements, the auditor requests additional documentation from grant administrator. Grant administrator requests payments from grantee. Grantee. Yeah,
They're the grantee. In this deal, it's just
grantee. That's just grantee. The guy picking out the money's not the grantee. Doesn't sound like it.
Just for verification, when they say RFP in here, so people don't get confused, it's not a request for proposal, that's a request for payment.
Right.
Okay? Just so people don't get confused.
I'm not a big fan of all these acts.
No, I'm not.
It's limited view, no one guys talk about. Processing steps, payments using advanced funds to vendors. When using advanced funds provided to the county by the grantor. See, now they're the grantor. That's the guy that's providing the money. Before expenditure, the county will ensure timely payment by expending funds within 3 days of receipt of funds. So we can request the funds and it take 6 to 8 months to get it. That's okay. But once it hits our bank, it's got to be out of there by 3 days.
Oh, we have to calculate interest on that every day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, that they'd say, well, they wanted us to pay interest on the money that they hadn't sent us. I said, well, we didn't have it in our possession. And if you want to calculate, you gotta get rid of it in 3 days. Whatever interest we might have paid is less than the time and effort it's gonna take to do all those calculations on it.
Anything over $500, we have to pay back.
Most of it wasn't that long ago when I remember way back in the day, we got some of this federal money was a while before they were gonna spend it on the road. And the auditor at that time put it in a interest-bearing account, and we got dinged on that. Oh, you can't draw interest. But now they're telling us you're wrong for not putting it in an interest-bearing account. Problem is, different agencies that hire rules, and it's like
3 days.
We have to calculate it.
This is off limits.
Well, I mean,
They're the ones where
we need to make sure we don't put it in things together. Okay, so we get to the 30 of the file company.
but we're required to.
But if we don't pay it, we don't get it, you can't pay it. There's 6 months before they close.
There were only a couple of them, and you have to reach.
For us, the interest, when we done got it,
We're okay.
well, it has been, as far as we're concerned, it hasn't been paid to whoever's getting it until it closes. I said, we're not paying interest for, in that particular fact scenario. Oh, the auditor said, well, yeah, I guess you're right, that's what that does. And it talks about the $500 threshold. Any additional interest earned over $500 threshold on federal advance payments deposited in interest-bearing accounts must be remitted annually to the Department of Health and Human Services payment management system. Thank you. Appropriate. DMS through electronic medium using either automated clearinghouse, ACH network, or a Fedwire funds payment service. We have a motion before it.
Yes.
It should be part of the portal.
It is.
Services have to do with
All this has written.
These are, yes, Judge. These are all those HUD rules.
Okay. Can I get a motion to pass the mandated policy change? I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, a second by Commissioner McAnally. Are there any other questions?
Oh, yeah.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Again,
Yeah, anything.
there's no place to sign, we're just gonna, you're
I'll
gonna
send them the
submit
minutes.
these policy changes so they'll know that we have implemented the policy. They can take that off the list of concerns. Item number 17, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve transfer of a 2019 Chevrolet Chevy Silverado. I'll dispense with reading of the VIN number, license number 1416209 to the maintenance department. Okay. What truck are we talking about? Are you an image swapping trucks? Is that what this is?
It's not a truck swap, it's, I would be receiving a truck from OEM.
Yeah, but that's, come up here. So, y'all, the truck is that extra truck that we bought was sitting over there. I think they thought it was going to maintenance, and Lonnie would rather have Emmett's truck because it's more suited for pulling the trailer. That would mean that, Emmett would be driving the other truck, I guess. I mean,
That's right. I know originally y'all had looked at possibly giving that truck or whatever. Since, looking at it and line it's got a small engine and it doesn't have a heavy duty suspension. The truck I currently drive now.
and the other truck that had been formerly put in your hands is more suitable for what you're doing. It's got a little more electronic gizmos for.
Yeah, it's got plugins in the bed, it's got all that wonderful stuff.
Okay.
I just need something that can do a mowing trailer. Doesn't have to be fancy.
I'm fine with it, but I'd like to incorporate it in the motion that Emmett's gonna have whatever truck what truck are y'all proposing? The one that sits up there?
Correct.
We bought 2 trucks because when we had an opportunity, with some federal funding or whatever it was, and we had to sign that. So.
We had money left in the inspector in the.
That's right, it wasn't federal money, that's right, in environmental line. And we gave one to the permitting office, correct? Yeah. I just, I'm fine with it, I don't have a problem with it, I mean, I don't know if anybody else does, I don't. Did it get transmission? Service. It was some sort of, what's the name, it's charged electronically and closes the valve, I don't know what you call it. Solenoid, that's the word. Sometimes it's a solenoid issue.
Solenoid. A fuel system.
How many miles is on it?
It has, 40,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mars to transfer the 2019 Silverado to maintenance and put Mars, no? I think it goes to Emmett, don't the 19 goes to Emmett?
That's the one I'm currently driving.
19, okay.
The 22 would go to,
22, okay. And the 22 to emergency management. I have a motion by Commissioner Mars, second by Commissioner. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous. 5-0.
Neither one of you get, contact, right?
Great.
right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, gentlemen. Item number 18, consideration, discussion, and possible vote for approval accepting bids for roto-mill product and approving as applicable.
So we brought this up a while back, went out to bid on it. When we do our annual bid sometimes, y'all know, these things come up, what TechDOT does on the roads. And, there's some vendors out there that are getting road mill material, they didn't have it.
Well, 9:45 where Tony Cap comes in, I thought really handsome file material, that's the county material.
Not yet.
I saw a sign that said possession of property of Jacinto County.
We stick them in our mouths.
Yes, Judge did too. Yeah. You knew exactly where I was going with it. Anyway, I didn't mean to sidetrack you, so is this a certain amount that's sitting in a particular location?
Yeah, this is, we got over there, off 59, was in the door, they're doing all that work, in that area, TechDOT is, and there's, you probably got about 30,000 tons sitting there. Restocked asphalt.
Rubber mill and pressure concrete. Mill concrete.
$25 a ton for the road mill crushed concrete, wrap is $30. Which do y'all prefer?
The rubber mill is $30 a ton and pressure concrete.
Which one do y'all prefer?
Both. Use both of them. Use both of them. Depending on which one you go to the road. The road mill.
This is actually just making them a vendor.
Yeah, in order to buy this, we want to approve them as a vendor. Put them on our vendor list, so what you tell them.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner McAnally, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
Just for the public's knowledge, this is for all precincts. It can benefit all different precincts.
Because that's a small amount in Texas, for a year, and this stuff was a lot of roads, especially that the team got now, so we can have to go and grind it. We can put this stuff in there and put some more plate in it.
Item number 19, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve refunding Mr. Reddick $400 he paid for his subdivision application when he filed an application to revise his subdivision plan. Should not have paid his subdivision. He was just doing a replat, and somebody told him, or he got the impression he had to pay, and it's normally if somebody's handed, trying to write us a check, we don't run them out the door. But when the dust settled, it turned out, that came up at the last meeting.
That's why I put it on.
Motion, I get it, motion, I pay it.
Okay, you hear who was first?
Me too.
Okay. Commissioner Jacinto made a motion to grant this application. I have a second. Yes, sure. Out the door, right? I have a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
It was just a miscommunication on the way around.
Item number 20, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve necessary action for the Innovation Center. Lonnie, no, he's still there. So, I know I already said earlier, we're gonna have the, when we host the DETCOG annual, every year each county gets to host the DETCOG meeting. We're hosting right here on the 28th, and then at 2 o'clock, we're gonna have, that same day, we'll have a little ribbon cutting or something. I've been told there was a couple of leaks or something like that.
There's some water spots in the ceilings that could be expected, next week.
Okay. Well, 10,000-foot building, there might be a screw.
So is it around the penetrations, or you don't?
No, so it looks like it's in random locations in some of the offices and, on the ag extension side. It's like single little spots.
Still leaking. Last time I was in there,
New ceiling, so it's
Still
there's
leaking.
water spots, there's drops coming in. So they're gonna come look at that and see what the deal is with that.
You're not looking to see?
I haven't gone up there to look, no, sir. I haven't pulled any of the ceiling tiles. I didn't want to disturb anything until the contractors had a chance to review it.
it's all suspended ceiling, right? I mean, I guess you could have tall enough ladder to move a ceiling down and look. That's how you look. It's not like there's a substructure up there you can walk around on, right? It's kind of like this. They had been running the AC. We won't know until August whether that thing actually works.
Yeah, the AC units and the heater has not been running over there. We've had everything off because the building wasn't occupied. Since we started moving in recently, we've had the heaters run in various areas. But not all.
Okay, well, I was just wanted to get your comment on that, right? I don't know if we've signed the final year free from us with the contractor, but if we got any moved in and we got leaks, that's something we ought to.
Yeah, it's something they'll have to address and look at.
I don't know where Brother Woods is. I figured he'd be here and he'd be on top of that.
He's having some kind of neck procedure.
Oh, he didn't tell me that.
But if there was one thing that he asked me to talk about, was the drains, they're washing.
Yes, sir.
On the surface. He's talking about putting in, piping it to the ditch, and I, the ditch is already eroded, why don't we just fill it up with 3x5 rock and let it filter through there? That was my opinion. I mean, what do you want?
Longevity wise, as far as lawn maintenance goes, it would be better if we would put in some kind of cistern catch and piped it out to the ditches, just because it gives it a central location for it to drain out of. The rock, I mean, it would work, and it would stop the erosion. It's just a matter of lawn care wise, longevity of the building. It's a lot more maintenance when you have rock.
Now, I'm saying put it in the erosion spots and let that be like a French drain that it filters the water down to the ditch, and then it's gonna grass over. It'll eventually grass over, and you won't even know it's there. I'm not saying let it.
You still can't vote with a lawnmower. You go ahead and weed it. I had drew up some plans to give them to Mayor, and I also talked to Lonnie about it. For the future, I know it's gonna cost some money, but we don't know what's gonna happen with this property over here. All the water that's coming off of this property over here is gonna come down that ditch also. So before we top this road around here, we need to bring that water across and join this ditch on this side, share the water flow. Now, getting back to that side, my opinion,
It's always gonna run the way God intended, but when we go to clearing, it's gonna run faster. That's what you.
so I would say that in the future, whenever that may be, that we put culverts in between our driveways, put catch basins to where those are coming out of by the light standards, pipe that to the pipes that's underground, then we can have additional parking over the ditch. But if we just put 3x5 rock, that's a continuous maintenance problem that we're gonna have from here on.
Did we ever actually formally convey that to the city?
That the city has conveyed from the sheriff departments.
I mean, that never was a road until we put it in when we had to close that street over there when we added down to the jail. That's when that road was put in. I don't remember that we ever actually, as far as the deed records, I don't know if we conveyed that to the city. If it's the city's, it's their responsibility.
Well, it was before my time, but what I'm hearing from the last two mayors that's in for the city is when we put this road in, it was our responsibility to take care of it, maintain it, and that. Now, that was before my time, so, you know, that.
Yeah. Well, it stands to reason. I mean, it's right in the middle of our property, but whether it's a city road or not, they had to be, you know, they clogged up.
Yeah.
I know that's what it does. And I think there was a promise to,
I don't know what that promise was, it was before my time. But back to this, if we just do the 3x5 route, we're just kicking it down the road.
Ideally, it would be to put catch basins in and pipe it all.
Well, the thing about it is, right now,
I don't think they care if we do what you're talking about. Put a pipe in there and cover it all over, while the water runs under.
but right now, maintenance, they've got to weed eat all this front right now because they can't mow it with a lawnmower anyway. The whole front has got to be weeded. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct.
And I talked about this the other day. I mean, we can put rock in there for now for court, if it pleases the court, I don't care, you know. But
Yeah,
We can't rock on the slope.
on where the water channeled out to come to the ditch. That's here we put catch basins in, all water runs in the catch basin, pipe to our, holding drainage, and then it drains out. We don't have them washes, but when that was constructed like that and grew up, I guess that was just meant.
Right now, there's a 3 to 4 foot hole at this outfall pipe.
Right.
Side plus we didn't have that piece of property out here. I mean,
Right.
that wasn't clear.
But it ain't gonna get better when we start developing that.
No, it's not,
It's gonna be magnitude worse as soon as you start clearing that property and add concrete.
Little Birdie told me there's already some plans on getting use of part of that from the Aspen Gardens. They want to put some type of garden in. I told you.
yeah, they've been talking about, well, and out of the way, that's gonna be for future beautification.
They also, I'm expecting a representative to be here this morning. They asked me what the DR, they want to donate a certain species of crepe myrtle tree, put it in what looks kind of like a flower bed with nothing in it. I gave them, as far as I'm concerned, that's fine. If anybody wants to undo that,
I don't give them the drainage.
I'm just telling you, they want to do a little fire mat or something over here by the innovation center. They want to plant a really nice, I think it's a crepe myrtle.
Yeah, it's a crepe myrtle tree that they want to plant, a mature crepe myrtle. They want to plant in one of those little islands on the corner of the parking lot. They want to put it in there, and they want to take some terracotta pots and put around it for some flowers and some color.
There's another vacant area right here that we're using for drainage. It'd be great for some type of planting.
What we made, that's nice. I mean, it's nice.
I thought we dropped everything around the building so we would lessen our maintenance.
Cut no money out of the job. That's job security, I guess.
Plenty of counter problems.
Roof going here, trying to drain over the top.
There is a 16 mil plastic put down underneath that rock. We would have to cut that back a little bit, open it up so the roots can get water.
Maybe everybody needs to look at the drainage that's coming off of there now. Let's get our heads together, come up with something.
Because we have the main outfalls across the front of this building. Oh, yeah, we'll have to bring that up too. And then down this side on the state side, that water drain down the parking lot on those outfalls along the 150 side. Those have to be attended to as well.
Well, on the back side, when we first started, there was talk about a farmer's market area. I thought that they had covered that area. That got access, I guess.
I thought it was too, but I didn't know.
They talked about it, supposed to be on the back side of the slope. They run over here. And they could still do it, but without a cover, it'd be, it'd be more comfortable for the people coming to the farmer's market. At one point, there was a kind of a pavilion, or whatever you want to call it.
Overhang.
Yeah, overhang,
Yeah, something off of it.
See, I was under the impression that the road, the Ferguson's driveway, it goes back. I thought from the top of the road, they were gonna terrace that to where that wouldn't work too, but that didn't happen. Now then, we've got a pipe over there that's coming across that road, that drains right on that slope, then it comes over the curb onto the concrete.
Well, I mean, if that's where the pipe is, the water always ran through there, it can run across the concrete, so I know.
Well, that's.
Creates a wash.
That's a wash too. I mean, they're just, but see, they were.
Wash it all.
Yeah, the concrete, the pipe ain't jutting over the curb.
Right. The pipe isn't all the way to the concrete, so there's probably about 6-8 foot.
Yeah, it's 3 foot higher than the.
It's all wash.
The curb.
We show a ton of sand out of the driveway, out of that parking lot.
Well, then there's no direction. I mean,
There's no ditch on that side.
Anyway, as far as the actual, the building was, we've been getting emails and reports from the mayor, everything's pretty much done, but the only thing I know that needs to be looking at, before we sign it completely off is the water spots or whatever it is.
Yeah. To my knowledge, just the water spots is the only thing.
They walk around and they put blue stickers on a lot of things. I haven't been back there. I'm assuming, like Mr. Woods, all over that. As far as you know, those all been addressed, or there's some things that haven't.
Pretty much all pretty
They're
good.
signed off, it's ours. We're in the warranty period now.
Another thing to consider is putting a fence along the backside of that property. Who owns the property back behind there?
That is the Ferguson's.
The Ferguson's. Yeah, we need along Ferguson's driveway. We need to put a fence on.
Why do we need a fence
Just to keep the dogs out.
there? Dogs.
You go over there, you'll know what I'm talking about.
They're everywhere. We can't. How you gonna stop that barbed wire fence in? Yeah. You don't put a fence around the whole property?
No, I just want to at least put it across the back if you could block the view.
I know, but the rest of it's barbed wire on their side.
It is blocked, yes, sir.
It'd be like, I went down, seen when they were building the border fence, you got the fence here, and you go 100 yards and there ain't no fence. They just gonna walk around it. That's all I say, they don't need the barbed wire. You don't put a fence all the way around it, it's kind of useless. I think that's gonna detract from the beauty of the building, if we make it look like a jail or something. Or a detention facility.
Maybe some shotguns here.
There is an issue when people start getting over there and using it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so anyways,
Not that we gotta do that, something needs to be.
the drainage is an issue. It's gonna have to be addressed.
Drainage is one thing, but fencing the dogs, the town dogs out, you know, stuff like that. The water spots is an issue to me. Yeah. Water spots is a big issue.
Just throwing it out there for consideration. So,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, John. We don't have anything that needs action here on that. Go back to basic deals like this. Number 5, consider approval of claims. Any questions on yours? Already? That's really about that. Oh, you want what we spend? Last year,
We're gonna do it.
While y'all are looking at the bills, we're right under five. Four. Track of land down here, that we have to stop at for quite some time. I did draft a title suit through the title for that one lot. And I submitted it to Mr. Dillon, because I'm not signing on these additional lawyer on this project. So anyway, it finally did get filed yesterday, where, then I signed an affidavit. I didn't know, have any idea where this North Zone Fellowship of the Assembly of God is located. I've tried everywhere. You know where I'm gonna go add the paper, because that's what you have to do, clerk will, and then we get a bill from the newspaper. I'm just letting y'all know about it. Y'all said move forward, we gotta get that done. And then the next step, they'll have to, once we run the ad, submit an order to get the judge to the point. You probably in a suit, you have what's called an attorney ad litem to represent the unknown heirs that you're suing. So that's a little update. So when you see a bill for the newspaper, whatever, I think it runs 4 weeks. That's what that's all about.
So the sale is just on hold on all the other lots?
Yeah, I suggested that if he was in a hurry to move forward, we could close on the other 5 and close on that one when the time is clear, but he's not pressing to do that.
Okay, and then the other land sale, that's on hold also too?
The fellow came in a week or 2 ago. We had tentatively said January, and then he came in at the end of February and said, hey, I just want to give you an update. He was buying it with his friend or neighbor, and one of them had some medical issues. He asked, could we have a little more time? And I said, well, I think there'd be any objection to that. It's selling, not like we had a backup bidder or anything. Yeah, I suspect to hear from him in a couple of weeks, but of course it didn't.
I don't remember.
25 and change, we had a $15,000 minimum, so. Which is a good price for most 5-acre tracts. You walk out there and, you're gonna go walk across it, you better tie a rope to a tree and it's pretty steep coming back up that hill.
Yeah, it makes good. It's pretty easy to get snow.
On the certification.
Number 1, increased expense.
It's just to increase it's not really increasing the expense, it's saying that we're using that money for the expense. That's the bottom money.
So we need a motion to pay the bills? I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Natuno to pay the bills. I'm looking down here about, there's one line here that says, most of them are $384.64 uniforms, and then there's a $2,000. What was that for? One invoice for $2,000 for uniforms.
For what department?
443.
That's a shame. It's probably when you can,
Mike?
I'm sure when they come in, they're going to talk up and order all new stuff. I guess.
There was a bunch of stuff on animal control. He said this is sheriff department.
That's the sheriff's department.
I guess, well, that was 443. Yeah. I saw the stuff on the animal control.
Most of them are small amounts, that's 2,000. That's a lot of.
Cause my brain falls off. I had to sleep a little bit.
Deputy badge with badge numbers, and there are 20 of them at $100 a piece.
20 badges, that's good. So if you get 20, that's not,
20.
that explains.
The name number at $100.
Not the name, just the number.
Just the number.
Texas 5-point star, deputy badge with badge numbers, $100. And there's 20 of them.
And they don't cost $100 each.
So I need to take that.
She asked if you're gonna take it out.
I was gonna say, you can get it.
I just didn't know what it was. I didn't see the fact that if it's 20 badges, $100 a badge sounds like a reasonable amount. That'll get a second. I got a motion. I got a second by Commissioner Brandon. Motion was by Commissioner Jacinto. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. Item number 6, consider approval of budget amendments and revenue certifications. Increase revenue, increase expense. Man. to some new high-powered schools. This is taking it out of you.
It's a JP.
That's JP1.
Oh, okay.
I did see some travel on there that I questioned. But she's moving it out of travel and taking care of.
She ain't got travel, y'all. We took up travel out.
We did have travel. We left 500 in there, I think, and it's for maybe her employees, but I guess she's taking that out.
Yeah.
Put it in tuition, lodging and meals. Okay. I'll make the motion on the budget amendment. Revenue certification.
Have a motion by Commissioner Jacinto, second by Commissioner Brandon on the budget amendment revenue certification. So $215,674.01 for the public's benefit. That's buyout revenue. That's
Yes,
a
it's
pass.
buyout revenue.
We can't keep it.
It's not revenue, we did, yeah, we're closing a couple of deals on the buyout.
Yeah, we can't keep it for 3 days, right?
We try not to keep it that long. We got
It's already
to
going.
explain why.
They send the line. They send the line.
Yeah, go take out the air conditioners and pull all the copper out, tear the roofs off. All right, any other comments on the budget amendments? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Item number 7, consider approval of minutes of meetings, regular meeting February 7th, 2024. Well, there's no minutes of meeting when we didn't have a quorum. When I set that meeting, that was the day after we all went to school on Friday, short notice, just in case we needed to pay the bills or something. I'm a little bit of a bet man, I wasn't betting on behalf of one, but it was just no harm, no foul. But you want to approve something that says what happened that day, commemorating the history of
Nothing happened that day.
I'll make that motion on the minutes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Matino, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions about the minutes? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. You get a fire marshal. No. You.
Sorry, Jackson.
Number 8, receive and consider approval of February departmental reports.
It was stinky. Sanitation, I feel.
I got it. Good. You know, he brought by some, he went to a school, he was out of town for a school, he did bring by something to get paid, reimbursed for the gas, but he had nothing to run. I don't know why they don't. Oh, you got cars.
Oh, they're on their cars. Yeah, goofy lady. They goofy, man.
Well, I was on that, didn't have a car.
Yeah, big time.
He don't have one.
He does not say yes, about 45 years. They told me.
Have a motion by Commissioner Brandon to approve the reports except for the fire marshal. Second. Have a second by Commissioner McInally. Any comments or questions about anybody's reports? Excuse me. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. Item number 22, public comment. Do I have any? Mr. Gerald Digger.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Well, we have a situation that has not been rectified, and that is our county's communications problems that's being held together by baling wire and a duct tape. And if you doubt what I'm saying, gentlemen, go over to the sheriff's office and go into the communications department, and you will see wires coming from the floor, going up the walls, going up into the ceilings. And at some point in time, there was a lightning strike at the sheriff's office, and there was a fire up in the attic. All of
There
this
was a light that shorted out, and they called Lonnie at 2 o'clock in the morning, to come over there and fix it. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the light shorted out. It wasn't, I don't think it was a fire. That's what he told me. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going by what I was told. I'm not even sure that the 100-foot tower is operable at the moment. And the thing that I want to bring to your attention is there is a simple solution, and it's sitting right here in this court. The simple solution to a request that was made on May the 18th of 2023. Then there was another follow-up request made I believe in February of this year, and the request was this: we request the creation of an informational technology specialist position to handle software and security issues with all sheriff's offices and detention center computer and communication equipment. This is critical. And what they were requesting at this time, because it was budget time, they were requesting that somebody that is capable of handling this be paid a $51,000 salary. We also anticipate a looming cost for radio and communications equipment, which is far outdated and beyond service life. It is unknown what those costs will be, but they are substantial. We request an official study and appraisal be done by an outside contractor to develop a county-wide communication plan, utilizing all available resources. Well, your resource is here, and he is about to speak behind me, and he has a lot of answers, and he has also resolved one of your problems, which he will let you know momentarily. But you're always saying that you want to hire somebody that is local and capable. Well, this gentleman is. I turn it over to Ray McCollum.
Thank Thank you very much for that astounding oration. Mr. McCoppin, are you next? Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Ladies first. Carissa. I didn't realize you were in the pile, so normally ladies first with me.
Oh, it doesn't matter. First of all, thank you for letting me speak, and I'm really not yelling at y'all this time. I have a request. On March 6th, you stated that, at y'all's school, that they recommended maybe putting the comments last. But from what I understand, and I'm going to read you Texas Local Government Code 551-007B. A public comment agenda item will appear at the beginning of each meeting's agenda. Members of the public are welcome to make comments on any topic and shall be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes to make remarks. The time for each speaker shall be maintained by the county judge, which I appreciate. You've always been very lenient on that, and I appreciate that.
What was that section number? We were all at the school at
551 whatever you want to call it, 007B.
It was just something that got brought up there, and some
Right.
others had mentioned it. It was something we're trying. It's not carved and stuff.
No, I understand that, and that's why I was bringing it. So on March 6th, there were a bunch of people here from my precinct, and they wanted to speak on something, but the comments had been moved to the end, and therefore they weren't able to stay.
I think there were 37 things on the agenda. That had a little bit to do with it. It was I'm just simply saying that if the public comments are to be addressed towards an agenda item, what good does a public comment have if you wait until the end and it's already been voted on?
So can I address that just a little bit? That really aggravates me as a commissioner. The public knows a whole lot more than we do sometimes, and it is true. If you don't go talk to your commissioner before the program, we all get this 72 hours in advance. We don't really have any knowledge of what's going on the agenda prior to that. So it was a disrespect to me in the past when we vote on something and the public knew more than we knew, but they waited after we voted to chew us out about it. So
that's not what I'm saying today.
That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying if you know something about agenda items, pick the phone. You got my number. Call me. Hey, what's going on with this? What? Instead of
I don't think that I've ever been slack and calling.
I'm just making this point that to me, you should be calling commissioners and communicating with them.
Sure.
Say, hey, what's the deal with this? I had a guy last week tell me about the fee for the solar panels, and I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me look at it, you know. So just pick up the phone and call. Where are you going? We're talking. I will. I will too.
Right, and you've always been available for me, so I'm not saying that.
Right before court to try to make our mind up, we need to be, our minds made up probably before we come in here.
Right. Right, but still, some public people,
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I'm just simply saying that if we're supposed to address something on the agenda, it's too late for us to address it if it's already been voted on.
But the other side, you might look at it is, you know, it gives you a chance to hear what we got to say, and then you got the last bunch, so.
Yeah, but if it's already voted on, does that mean that our public comments have no sway?
There's 2 schools.
I got something to say. It's just like right now, okay, we're sitting here having a conversation and stuff. It's not even on the agenda, so if you go by 551, we shouldn't even have to.
Well, comments is on the agenda.
We're kind of.
Actually, comments is on the agenda.
We're kind of trying to be as close as we can, because some of the stuff Mr. Deaver brought up, like a communication plan, we're already working on that, haven't we?
Right.
You know?
No, I respect what you're saying.
One source, so he doesn't know.
I think what he's trying to say is the comments are supposed to be on stuff that's on the agenda. If it's not on the agenda, we're not supposed to talk about it.
And that's why I appreciate when I said you've given us leeway, and I recognize that you give us leeway and on so many things. I'm just asking that you give us leeway at the beginning of the court instead of the end of the court.
I get your point.
Thank you. I'm not trying to be ugly. I really am not trying to be ugly. Okay, And Mark, you'll get my phone call.
Me too.
Okay, anyway, I wasn't meaning disrespect, just a simple request.
No, we understand, we take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next is, Mr. Raymond Cotton.
Thank you, Judge. Would you like me to get the camera and do it? All right, thank you for letting me talk.
I'll give it back to
I do have a couple of comments on the public comment thing. In my opinion, doesn't matter to me whether it's before or after. What I would like to remind the court that if you're going by Robert's Rules of Order, which I think y'all do, there is a thing where you can make a motion to reconsider an item. So if you do public comments at the end, the public can stand up and if they change your mind, you can
You're right.
make a motion to reconsider an item
That's true.
and change it. Okay? All right. So that being said, I took my Red Cross vest off and I'm going to say I'm up here talking as a concerned citizen. I'm not representing the Red Cross or anybody else except myself. And today I have a couple of documents in front of me, and I'll be glad to share them with you. I didn't have time enough to make enough copies for all of you. But the first document I want to share with you is dated February 26, 2024, and it's from the Federal Communications Commission. And what I want to note is the Federal Communications Commission is under Public Safety and Homeland Security Bureau. Okay? So that they are.
What date was that? What was the date?
February 26, 2024. And it's addressed.
FCC, okay.
Yeah, FCC. And it's addressed Judy Eaton and San Jacinto County, 75 West Cedar Avenue. What it is just a reminder that one of our radio license is about to expire on May.
They're a little slow getting it. It's been over a year since we buried Judy.
Yeah, I know.
So they're a little slow.
Well, you have to go into their system. There's a system called ULS, which stands for Universal Licensing System under the FCC, and you have to go into that system and update it. Unfortunately,
I would have thought that they would have looked towards the register kept by the Department of Heating. Because we send, anytime there's a change in emergency management, we send, there's a number, David probably knows that. A search form, and that puts the world on notice, as far as we're concerned, that who's doing what in emergency management here, or anything.
So, that's that. And
they should have opened that, I guess, I would see if he's.
I would have thought it would have got forwarded to the replacement, and I talked to
I've been back in for 4 years, and I'm still getting stuff addressed to John, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
I know, I'm not complaining about it. You say you did talk to him? Yeah, he never saw
The
this.
point was, to whoever it was addressed, one of our FCC license on the tower is about to expire or has been expired.
Well, I want to continue on in that.
Go ahead.
And so as of this morning, your license is good until 5/21 of 2034. Okay? And the reason for that was I picked up the phone. So on this license, you have the owner, and then you normally have under public safety licenses, you usually have a contact. And a lot of times the contacts are actually the people that did the work, that put up the stuff, the people that have licenses issued by the
So they
FCC.
still had you
to work on
on
this.
this when you were commissioner or something, that's how you were able to
You can go online and get the FCC to tell you all the information about every radio y'all have.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, that's good.
And so the person that was listed there was, Archie Connell, excuse me.
He's a vendor.
He was a vendor
years ago.
With DFW Communications and had his phone number. And so I called his phone number and a man named George Arnold answered. And he works for a company called Mobile Communications of America, or MCA. And so I was talking to him about it, and I told him that I was not authorized by the county to do anything, and I was just a concerned citizen. And I suggested to him that I explained to him the situation about the license, and because he was listed as part of that, apparently they have access, and as of this morning, 3:20, today, probably sometime last night, they updated it, and it's been updated. Okay?
Whose name did they put in there?
Mr. Arnold, George Arnold, and he has, I'll give you his phone number, I'll give you this document if you want it, Judge. Anyway, I talked to Mr. Arnold for quite some time.
But he's our contact information, and we don't even know who he is.
Yeah, well, originally was Mr. Connor, Archie Connor.
Well, when you do radio stuff, those guys handle all the paperwork. And
Yes, sir.
like that. He was the go-to guy for many years.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Anyway, so he graciously updated that for y'all, which is progress. Okay. Also talked to him some about the radio system, and I've kind of been informally, I guess, asked by some of the members of the court to look at the radio system, and I talked to y'all a while back about okay, y'all don't replace a motor grader when your tires wear out, you buy new tires, right? Well, our radio system's somewhat that way, things have changed over the years, there's been stuff added and all kinds of different things, but it hasn't been properly maintained. Okay?
We don't dispute that.
Okay. And so I talked to Mr. George, and he said they did get the request from the auditor's office about the bid for the radio system that the sheriff wanted, but I think most of y'all know that they didn't even bid on it because they thought it was, I'm going to use the word ambiguous. It didn't meet the requirements that were even specified in the bid. And so,
I've heard that.
Anyway, I talked to him for quite some time, and he seems to think along the same lines as I think, that if you go back to the federal government, I'm talking about the Department of Homeland Security, they have an interoperability document where they list how you are supposed to be interoperable with them. Their interoperability document states that you're supposed to be using P25, which is what we have. And they also, for rural, they recommend VHF, which is what we have, not 800 megahertz. Okay?
Really? That's the federal government.
That's the federal government.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mr. Grant getting this?
Huh?
Is he getting this? Have you already talked to him?
Who? George?
Yeah, the guy that just left.
Okay.
No, Mr. Garrett, he's the one that questioned what we were doing just yesterday, right? Yeah, but he's not listening.
And just to make a point, right? And you've been here before, you sat up here, so all this you know. But that federal interoperability has been around since the 90s, and the Texas adopted it. And we have our own Texas interoperability plan, which ended updates, and Chris is back there, and that's what we're trying to go by. that's part of that plan we're working on for debt cost. And having, you're already with it.
The money's sitting there, GLO, debt cocktail, my plug, debt cocktails, maybe. They're just waiting on to release it, and we can start.
That's what, he's saying that we don't, he's saying that we probably don't need to go to this 6-1 system, he's 800 quickers.
He says,
That's what he's saying.
We may not, but that was sheriff's point across. We got,
Yeah, I realize that.
we're not the ones that came up.
so, there is, George called it patches, okay? I call it a bridge, if you would. You could,
George Arnold or George Garrett?
George Arnold, not George Garrett. But anyway, and, because I talked to him about it for a while, and he said a lot of the counties are going that way, where they're using a P25 VHF system like we have, and bridging it, or patching it into 800 megahertz.
And we're talking about that, and
Not an 800 megahertz system, but you gotta understand that 800 megahertz system in Houston, they have 30,000 radios on that system in Houston, okay? That means if that system would support 30,000 radios. We don't need a system that supports 30,000 radios unless you want to give a radio to everybody who lives in the county. And then some.
Good talk.
So anyway, Georgia said that they would be perfectly willing to help us in the future, and they've already shown their I'm going to say,
Good faith.
but good faith by going out there and getting access to that license and updating it for us. That's all I got to report, and I apologize if I have stepped on anybody's toes.
You have not. We have asked you to look into this. Whether formally or not, so.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you. Good question. All right. Can you pass that on to some other people?
So they're using 800 as interoperable. Basically, the 800 system.
Some of what's driving the 800 system is the ambulances. The Texas, Texas Medical Ambulance Service, stretches up further up north than I thought. And they're using 800.
because they're using 700, 800, one's top, one's the
Yeah.
You know, so actually you have to top two systems instead of one.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So did you ever see this text warrant coverage?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Ain't very many of them, 800 megahertz, so that
No, sir.
Not yet.
you can call. You think you'll see in your lifetime? 25, whole state of Texas. Okay.
And just so you know, Ray, in case somebody has told the radio towers around us, like in Montgomery County, that 800 tower there, the one over in Moss Hill, over in Liberty County, TPS gave that to Liberty County, because they're getting out of the tower business, so to speak. And so that was part of the conversation we had with Dexcom, to get on their system, we could jump into those towers and utilize them, whether it's 800, 900, or VHF, is we have to do an interlocal agreement with Dexcom, and it's what was it, $35,000 a year license fee or something like
I'm
that?
talking if we did it ourselves.
Yeah, if we do it ourselves, we use that ties us in, we can use their towers. And come to that agreement with Dexcom, because they already own that system.
I don't know if we ever got a price what it's going to cost to take off.
Well, that was what we were supposed to have a meeting, but I think the sheriff said he was going to get that meeting together, and not everybody else, so we don't know what they discussed.
Well, they had a meeting with.
No, but they were having separate.
We had a meeting with the text warrant people.
Yeah.
And they pretty much told us that, don't buy don't buy what you've been presented, it's more.
Yeah, they were concerned about it. Text one people.
Yeah, get with that, get on their system. They recommended that we start the 800 system by buying a console and buying a few radios and just start pushing that way.
That's correct.
Keep what we've got keep that system, but use this as kind of like, this is where we're going in the future.
Yeah, this company is supposed to provide a new console, which is in dire need. That's where most of the duct tape and baling wire is, I believe. And we've known that for quite a while. That's a high ticket item. I think they got budgeted. I heard the number in the neighborhood of $800,000. That seems like overkill, but I mean, hey.
Well, they're gonna do some work on the tower, they're gonna put something on the tower, we're gonna have a tower in county.
Maybe a backup.
And then they're going to use, they're gonna send fiber to wherever it needs to go. So it's some in-ground fiber that they're gonna go from the tower to wherever, to hook it up to where it's not fading.
In-ground fiber, that's a lot harder for the crackheads to dig up, right? Exposed to the copper that they steal.
But it wouldn't hurt to have two consoles.
Yeah.
So if they fix one recommend buy a console, buy a few radios, move forward.
Yeah. The debt card money is not gonna provide all the radios.
No radio.
That's gonna fall on us.
No radio.
We have we got some.
One of the other things that George did say, if you're gonna use any federal money, you have to be federal interoperable.
You have to follow their guidelines, right? You can't take their money and then spend it on something that they don't have as part of their plan. That's an excellent point.
And that was part of the problem we had with this deal, which nobody could bid on because it wasn't a complete scope of what it was. We brought that $500,000 that we couldn't even use. It wasn't, you weren't getting use of it. The next one wouldn't even allow it on their system, because it was rebuilt, refurbished, unusable equipment. So we rather spend that $497,000 on something that actually work. And so we got a new spec, which text form to go out to meet these, we'll find. So there's a lot more parts of what comes out of storage.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. McCollum.
Keep this. Keep digging.
I guess I'd entertain a motion to leave here.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.
So you